In February 2020, I only had $4,700 left in my bank account after purchasing a vehicle. I had no other saving or investing account at that time. After 2 years of hard working and investing, I built my 110K net worth, starting with that $4,700. I know 110K is not tons of money for those with high salaries, but I made it as a teacher in Los Angeles, where the average salary is around 68.5K. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Dali. Today, I'd like to share my tips about how I built my six-figure net worth with 2 years of investing as a teacher in Los Angeles. I hope it is valuable for you too. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. Okay, without further ado, let's jump into my 6 tips. Tip number 1, always have the awareness of saving for the future. If you're always struggling about why you didn't save a lot of money, you are not alone. According to a Go Banking Rates, 69% of Americans have less than $1,000 in a savings account. Maybe you think you don't make enough money to save effectively or you spend too much. Well, if you write down your bare necessities budget for 1 month, such as your housing cost, food, utilities, and other necessities, then you can see if your monthly expenses are less or more than you earn each month. If your expenses exceed your earnings, you have to seriously think about cutting down your big expenses, such as downsizing your living space or lifestyle. Then you will find you still have extra money for saving and investing. Generally, our income should rise as we gain more expertise and more experience, so we should feel it's easier to save money as we age. But if your extra money you earned is put into upgrading your lifestyle instead, well, then saving money might actually get harder. I used to follow this trend and spend so much money on clothes and makeup every season, but many of them don't actually bring me any extra happiness. What I really need are just basic ones. I don't need so many lipstick that some of them end up not even being used. It's not worth it. Remember that what you're earning right now should serve at least 2 people, the current you and the future retired you, who doesn't work. So you need to always think about saving for the future. Another reason that people overspend the budget is because they don't prioritize saving money. So what does it look like to make saving money a priority? Tip number 2, auto investing. Do not save what's left after spending, but spend what's left after saving. You can set up auto investing and saving from your paycheck every month. Auto investing not only helps you build wealth automatically, but it declutters your life so you can focus on other things. The first order of investing for most people is to max out their 401k or similar retirement account. The 401k basically offers you free money when your employer matches another 6% of your monthly income for you. I'm a teacher in California and I don't have a 401k, but I do have a pension that matches 17% of my monthly income after I contribute 10%. I did not include it in my asset since I don't know how much I can actually access if I change states or switch to other profession in the future. I opened my 457B teacher retirement saving account on January 2020. I tried to contribute 70% of my paycheck into this in the past 2 years, but some of the month I stopped the contribution because I needed cash to pay for a big expense. Over the last 2 years, I contributed $27,310 to my 457B. This will passively generate $3,729 by January 2022. That's a 33% return. My current 457B balance consists of 30% of my assets. The 457B plan even allows me to roll over to another account or even withdraw when I leave or change my job without penalties. Just make sure you invest in a low-cost index fund such as Vanguard SP index funds so that the fees of the fund don't exceed your returns. The second auto investment should be your traditional IRA or Roth IRA. I also matched the 6K of my Roth IRA annually in the past 2 years. I opened an FSA flexible saving account through my employer so I can deduct my pre-tax income into my FSA debit card to pay for health costs such as sunscreen and a prescription medicine. That means I can use my pre-tax gross salary to pay for my health without paying tax. I wish I knew this earlier so I could have saved thousands of dollars on my medical bill last year. However, keep in mind that you will lose any money you put in an FSA if you don't use it within that year. So plan for your health spending in advance. For example, if you plan to have a baby or a surgery in 2022, you need to open an account through your employer at the end of 2021. After matching your retirement accounts, if you have extra money to invest, you can open other brokerage accounts to continue investing, such as Vanguard, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, or even cryptocurrency. I opened each one of those after investing in my retirement accounts. Those brokerage account asset takes up 55% of my asset. I have a 5% of my asset in cash for my emergency fund. As for crypto, I only invest the amount around 8% that I'm willing to lose, so I didn't miss the opportunity to invest in crypto while diversifying my portfolio at the same time. However, I don't recommend to make this step if you don't know enough about crypto because it's a high-risk investment. Well, by the way, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a high school teacher who is simply sharing her experience here. Don't buy any stock or investment just because other people do the same thing. After taking your saving and investing as priorities, you need to learn how to track your spending. A budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. You don't have to be a genius to build wealth. Avoiding stupid purchases is more important. You will be very surprised to find out how much money you actually spend than you think. After writing my expenses on paper, I found I spent over $4,000 in total on Amazon in 2020, which is crazy. In the past, I used to envy those people who travel for weeks, months, or even years exploring exotic culture and adventures. But after sharing their excitement, many of them complained to me that they almost went broke after traveling and had to come back to refuel their savings. I don't want to jump into any job just for money after experiencing a life inflation. I want to travel every year while not having to exhaust my saving while growing investing at the same time. If you want to know how we budget and save for traveling, you can check the link here. Instead of thinking how to spend your salary on the newest $1,000 iPhone, think about if you invest the money and then keep investing $100 monthly for 30 years, you will get $103,660 with just an interest rate of 5%. Tomorrow is a direct result of what you choose today, so choose wisely. However, tracking your spending doesn't equal to a budget. If you use Mint to record your spending and found out exact amount of each month of your spending, it will not change anything. Tracking only tells you what you have been doing now, but doesn't help chart your path forward. You need to think about why you spend the money and which amount of money you can actually avoid next time. Tip number 4, cut your expenses to the bone and save the rest. Living below your means is a golden rule, even when you are earning more money. Many millionaires still keep the habit of living frugally. I understand that we can't put a price tag on joy, so don't feel over-concerned with saving everything and looking for deals. If you're a foodie and eating out is important for you, so you can spend more on dining out. I cook a lot, but I also enjoy dining out. My current budget for dining out each week is around $50 to $100. Think about something that you like to spend more to elevate your life and make you happier. Then you can cut spending from other categories. Every time when you try to buy something, think about how many hours do you need to work in order to buy the item. If the joy from a pair of $300 jeans isn't worth 6 hours of your work or even more, then get a cheaper one that you are comfortable to pay. It's okay to tell yourself you can't afford something because you're saving the money to build a better lifestyle later. Another rule is to wait for 24 hours before you buy a big item. You may find that you don't really need it or you can replace with better deal. Making an impulse on a big purchase usually ends up regretting not shopping around because you didn't collect more quote choices to compare the best offer. Don't be afraid to say no to those aggressive sales when you are hesitant to buy or not doing your research yet. Also, you need to routinely audit various bills and fixed expenses like health insurance premiums and car insurance so that you can pay less and save money in your bank account. For example, I discovered that I overspent $2,400 on college courses that I needed for salary increase. I can instead spend $345 for those same credits through community college. After knowing how to cut down unnecessary expenses, you need to set a saving goal. When you don't have a reason to keep your money around a saving goal, then you are much more likely to spend it away. Instead of having a vague idea of saving more, you need to decide what you are working towards, no matter if it is a college fund for kids, a down payment on a house, a vacation, or retirement. If you have multiple goals, you need to break down each savings goal into an account. This way, you can decide how to allocate your income into the accounts based on your savings timeline and the amount you need to reach your goal. Sometimes you need to prioritize some goals over others. For example, I stopped contributing my 457B retirement account for a couple months because I need to prioritize loaning money to my dad when his business got hit by COVID in 2020. Don't forget to keep track of your saving progress to celebrate each milestone. You are more likely to feel encouragement about continuing as you see your success in different stages. You will build up more confidence to work towards your other goals like a ball rolling down a hill. Saving money can also be addictive as it becomes fun to watch your saving pile up with consistent contribution over time. Tip number 6, get a side hustle or negotiate a higher pay. 1 in every 3 Americans have a side hustle. If your regular job doesn't offer the chance to work overtime hours or pick up extra projects, working a side hustle may make sense. I try to work after school hours by attending different trainings on the weekend and working for after school tutoring. I also worked during winter and summer vacation in the past 2 years, so I built up more income stream to my savings. Since I get paid during teachers' winter and summer holiday, I doubled my income during that break through teaching summer schools and winter intervention program. It's a game changer to quickly build up my wealth through extra income. I also negotiated a higher pay by communicating my extra role and a credential to my employer, and also took more college courses to earn credits towards the next higher pay scale. I admit that I stressed out and burned out with a lot of extra workload and study load I choose to do, especially in 2020. So I try to avoid that tight schedule so that I can maintain a better work-life balance. But I'm still glad I built a 110K with 90% of it that keeps growing with dividends and interest if I didn't sell or withdraw them. This is how I built my 6 figures of assets through saving and investing while paying my rent and bills on time without anyone's financial support. Let me know what strategies you use for saving and investing down below, or share your thoughts. On the next episode, I would like to share with you how we do our house hacking through Airbnb. Stay tuned and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss it. See you next time.